7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, and welcome to the Marketing Essentials podcast. Our unique team helps small businesses grow by providing essential marketing expertise.
Hello and welcome to the Marketing Essentials podcast. I'm Bill with W. Parmentier Photography.
I'm Justin with Justin Kerr Design.
And I'm Alicia with the Spark Social.
And together we make up
The Marketing Essentials team.
So today we're going to be talking about Instagram. So
It's kind of popular lately, right? Just a
yeah.
few people on it.
It's just a few.
Yeah.
We just recently had a new person come onto Instagram. Who could that be, Justin?
That would be me. At the advice of my social media marketing consultant,
Yes.
was told that Instagram would be a good channel for me to show more of the personality that I bring to the business. So I've just started using it, posting to it, doing stories. I'm just getting into it now. So I think this podcast is going to be very interesting because, you're going to be covering a lot of things about Instagram in regards to how you can leverage it to market your business and where it fits and where it doesn't. So I'm all ears.
Sure. I mean, we're not going to be able to talk everything there is to do about
What?
Instagram.
I want to know everything.
Great. You got five hours? Plug in, everybody strap in. We're going for 5 hours.
That's right. It's a marathon podcast.
Just kidding. We'll be here for 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Right.
But, so
But
you
yeah,
have...
okay, sorry.
Sorry.
No, all I was going to say was we're not going to hit everything, but we're going to try to hit at least the high spots, so to speak.
Which, on that note, you have some really cool stats here, Bill.
Yes. Actually, let me go over a couple of them real quick. First of all, did you know that Instagram has over 800 million monthly active users? That's just people that are using it on a regular basis.
Do you happen to know how that compares to Facebook?
Facebook's at 2.8 billion.
Yeah, I mean, they're
Something
definitely
around
much
there.
higher.
Okay.
2.3, 2.8.
Yeah, but I mean, still 800 million is nothing to sneeze at.
No. And those are unique users.
It's the fastest growing of
Yes.
the social media channels. So while Facebook has more, cumulatively, Facebook's been around a lot longer. So Instagram is the fastest growing, from what I know at this point. Whether
Yes.
that changes, it could very well change tomorrow. But yeah, so, and then other stats that you have there, Bill, also very compelling.
Oh, sure, yeah. This one kind of blew my mind because I didn't expect this one. 60% of adults who are online use Instagram.
Can we define adults? Because I still eat pizza rolls for dinner. So am I an adult?
I think you still qualify as an adult.
Okay.
I'm going to assume
You pay
for
taxes, you're an adult.
I'm going to assume for the sake of this stat, it's anybody 18 and over.
Okay.
But I mean, the reality is that's a lot of people. 60% of all adults that are online that have an access to online in any way, shape, or form use Instagram in some way, shape, or form.
Wow.
So that adds right into the 800 million monthly active users.
Now, here's where the next statistic makes the differences, though. Those 60% of adults online, those are not all of those are using it for business purposes.
No, correct. I would probably argue the majority of them are not using them for business purposes, which makes it a hot area to start getting into as a business. It's been, Alicia, you can speak to this, but I'd say maybe the last year or so, businesses have really started to push their presence on Instagram.
Yeah, I can't pinpoint exactly when, but the momentum is definitely rolling, and I think they rolled out business profiles a little over a year ago.
Yeah, I was going to say a little over a year ago
say.
when I got mine,
Yeah.
roughly. Now, here's another stat there's a couple more stats here before we go too much further. So there are 20, right now, we just talked about businesses being on Instagram, 25 million plus. Now, this stat is as of 2017.
Okay, so it's probably gone.
So it's even
definitely
higher
gone
now.
up, yeah.
So it's actually going up. So that's why I put plus in my notes here. 25 million plus business user profiles on Instagram. Now, granted, I would hazard a guess that not all of those are being used actively, but that still says a lot about the fact that businesses realize that it's an important area to be in.
Right. And so you should have a business profile if you have a business
Correct. Yes.
instead of going on as a personal, because you get insights to
Correct.
more data, which we'll get into on
Yes.
other topics.
And then the other thing we'll talk about a little bit later is also you can connect that with your Facebook
Right.
account, so it all works together.
So definitely benefits of being a business profile over a personal.
Absolutely. And my final stat here is 50% of all Instagram users right now follow at least one business.
Oh, absolutely.
And 60% say they've learned of a product or service through the Instagram platform.
Yeah, this quote was actually referenced last week at a Facebook Live conference,
Oh, really?
or a Facebook Boost Your Business conference put on by Facebook themselves. They mentioned this very stat, so I'm thinking this is pretty recent, this information.
Yes, I mean, I'd say it was in the last year that I got this information from.
Yeah.
But that's right there alone. It's almost like stop.
Yeah.
If you're a business owner, you should be stopping in your tracks and going, if I don't have an Instagram account right now, why don't I?
Right, and so, and real quick, I don't know, do most people know that Facebook is
Owned by, or Instagram is owned by Facebook.
I don't know, but just a good point to mention.
Yeah, that is a valid point. And the nice thing about that is it integrates very well with Facebook. So I know for me, I have a setting on my Instagram account that when I post a photo onto Instagram, my business page on Instagram, it automatically posts onto my Facebook business page also.
Cool.
So you're just doing this little toggle switch and boom, you're done.
Nice.
Saves you a little bit of time so you're not having to cross post numerous times.
Yeah.
So, and then going back to your point, Bill, that if you don't have a business, or if you have a business and you don't have an Instagram profile right now, it's something to consider.
Yes.
Would you say all businesses? What do you think?
All businesses?
Yeah, can they use Instagram?
I'd be hard pressed to find any business that couldn't use it. I can't think
Funeral
of any.
home.
It's always the funeral.
You always go to the funeral home.
Just saying, I don't think I'd want to,
Well, no,
follow a
okay.
funeral home on Instagram.
But I'll challenge you on that.
Okay, go ahead,
In
Joe.
memoriams.
What's that?
Okay, in memoriams have become a more popular thing on websites right now. Like if you go to a funeral home website, there's a login page where you can go in and it'll have a list of all the people that have had services at that funeral home. And it allows people to post comments there about, I missed you, whatever, just condolence type things. So I would not be, I'm not saying this has been done yet, but I would not be surprised to see somebody at some point in the future do that.
All right, I'll give you another one.
Well, you're trying to like stump the DJ.
Well,
kind of
because
thing.
I don't think every business is a good fit for Instagram.
Okay.
So CPA, and I know what you're going to say.
Peter Lang.
I knew you were going to say that. He's obviously a niche market, but CPAs in general.
But
How
there
would
are-
they
there-
leverage Instagram?
There are CPAs out there. Because if you remember back to our podcast with Peter, he made the comment that some other CPAs had followed him, and when they realized he wasn't talking about CPA-related stuff, they unfollowed him. Sorry. It's like, damn you. I'm gonna. God, you want to try one more? I'll give you a third shot.
I'm going to.
How about this? Let's
I'm
open it
gonna
up
turn
to the
this over.
phone lines. If you own a business and you're not sure on how to use Instagram, contact Bill.
Because he'll give you a reason to be on Instagram.
You can reach
may
him
not
at
be a great reason.
401.
426-3133.
There you go, people. You have it. Let's challenge Bill.
Blow up his phone.
All right.
Great. No, we're half-heartedly joking here, but it's, I guess there are some that you could probably have to think twice about doing. But I mean, for the most part, I'd say 95% of businesses that are out there could use it in some way, shape, or form.
So I saw like a laser hair removal device the other day. So it's not a pretty device. It's this little and it's focused on women, but they used, just to play to your point, Bill, they used their Instagram to show basically influencers who are, at the beach and, a shot of their legs in the sand and so they're not really featuring the product because it's really not that glamorous. It's just a little I don't even know how to explain it.
That'd be like a plastic surgeon.
Yeah.
Right? Plastic surgeon is not going to show you
Scalpels.
the scalpels. He's going to show you before and afters.
Right.
So I think if you think about it long and hard enough, there's a pretty good way you could find out a way to use it for just about any business. And I said not every. Okay. I'll back up for my statement, okay, Justin?
You just don't want all these people calling you.
No, actually, I welcome it. I don't mind the phone calls. It's fine,
All right. So I think we've said enough here to convince people that you can use Instagram as a business platform and leverage it to grow your business. But if you haven't used it before, how do you get started?
Okay, well, first of all, you would want to take your Instagram profile and turn it into a business profile.
Okay.
That's obviously the very first step. It's a pretty easy process. You can actually go right into the app itself, and there's a toggle switch to say convert to business.
Will you lose anything?
Not that I'm aware of. I converted to business, and there used to be a group of people that said don't convert to the business profile because you lose algorithms and you don't get seen as easily. That has changed from my understanding, is you get as much organic reach with an Instagram profile as you would with a Facebook.
Do you have to convert, or can you have a personal and a business profile?
You can. You'd have to have them as two separate profiles. You can't have them all
Okay.
connected together. But
So if you have a thriving personal profile, it would make sense then to kind of leave that be
and start a new
up a
one.
business profile.
Yeah. So, for instance, if you used your name as your personal profile, you could go and create a business profile. Basically, create a whole brand new account and make that a Facebook profile.
Okay. Oh, you mean
Business.
Instagram.
Sorry, business.
Yeah.
Why am I saying Facebook? Instagram business profile.
Gotcha.
I use primarily, quite frankly, it's a lot of work to bounce back and forth between the two. So I just made my business profile, and I don't have a personal
Okay.
Instagram. How about you, Alicia? What do you have? Do you have both, or are you just
I
doing?
have both, and I think it also comes down to your brand. So I'm part of a company, so my personal profile is like more like me and my family and my dog, what I'm eating. And then the agency profile is different. It's more about our personality as a business, where we are networking, what we're working on. And we're a service-based business, so I didn't have an Instagram for a long time because it's like we're working on like marketing strategies
Sure.
and plans. So it's like, what do you really feature on Instagram? So we had to be creative about it. And I think, going back to the point of the businesses that could use it, I don't want to go too far off a tangent, but we like to display what we're doing in the community, who we're interacting with, the different restaurants we're at for business meetings, things like that.
Yeah,
And that's how we've made our service-based industry visual on Instagram.
Yeah, service-based industries can be a little bit more difficult to
Right.
to put up on Instagram, but it doesn't mean you can't do it. You just have to be, like you said, a little bit more creative as far as how you come about it.
Yeah, but sorry, I went on a tangent there. But in short, I have my personal, which is me, my dog, stuff like that, and then the business is featuring stuff we're doing. for
Now,
business.
see, this brings up an interesting point that I don't have, that I wasn't really planning on talking about, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. Is should you or shouldn't you include personal type posts on your business page? Now,
I
I've
think
heard
it depends on the
different
type of
stories.
company you are.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I'm asking that question out loud just more because I hear different stories. Some people say, "Oh, you should never post a personal story on your business page," but the reality,
I wouldn't say never, because I think especially as an entrepreneur, there are things about your personality that are going to come through as part of how you do business. So yes, I think you have to be careful.
yeah, you're not gonna post a picture of you out half in the bag from a party that you were at
No.
the night before, but
But I do think people are interested in knowing about you as a person.
What if the business doesn't, like the company doesn't have a face though? Like it's
Oh,
more of
okay.
a large
the
corporation.
corporation,
Like New England Tech.
that's more of a branding
Yeah,
standpoint.
then there's definitely lifestyle type postings that you can do. So say for New England Tech, you're going to want to show campus, you're going to want to show
Students.
students,
Yeah.
you're going to want to show campus
Right.
life, off-campus life, special events. So there is a face. It's just more of a
Collective.
corporate or organizational
Face
face
as
than an
opposed to-
individual face.
Right. So it's not like I'm the owner of the business. It's a
No.
collective identity made up of different individuals and experiences.
It's the personality of the organization versus the personality of the individual.
Yeah. And I think that if you don't really nail that down, you're going to miss the mark on Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this on numerous podcasts. There's a lot of great tools out there for marketing. There's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's all of these wonderful channels and tools. But if you don't have a strategy, if you don't know who you are, if you haven't, nailed down your branding and figured out who you are and who you serve, then none of these tools are going to be of
Sure.
use to you, or they're going to be of very little use to you.
Mm-hmm.
So start with strategy, and that's just this mantra that I've started to develop.
I
is
agree.
Start with strategy, because it's going to not only inform you about how to market yourself, but it'll help you select the appropriate channel. And this takes us back to that first question: can any business use Instagram? Yeah, they probably could. But is it the best thing for them to use? Because there are so many options out there. You want to be very strategic about, okay, I'm going to use these 3 channels because it gives me the best chance of connecting with the people that I want to connect with.
Well, that actually brings me to the second point that I wanted to talk about, which is cross promotion of Instagram posts. Any Instagram post can be automatically posted to Facebook.
Facebook, yes.
To your Facebook business account.
Yep.
Now, cross promotion is easy in the fact that you can do it pretty much effortlessly. Once you post on Instagram, it can post automatically
Right.
to your Facebook page. Something you want to keep in mind, and Alicia can definitely speak to this one, is invite people on your Facebook page to follow you on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because what does happen over time is people will migrate away from Facebook for a little while, and they'll be just on Instagram for a little while. And then maybe they'll migrate back to Facebook and go away from Instagram for a while. So if you can get them to like multiple social media channels, the better chance you have of more reach with them.
Yeah, and I also want to point out when you say cross promote, not all your posts from Facebook become good posts for Instagram.
Correct, and vice
at
versa.
all. Yeah, so you have to be very selective, I think, about. I would say I don't know what I would say what you put on Instagram could most likely work on Facebook
Maybe, yeah.
because it's a
possible,
picture
yeah.
and maybe a tagline. But I'm thinking the other way around because Facebook. Sometimes you just do a text post or a poll or
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could do a
Links.
graphic for that and with a link back. But I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
yeah,
not as effective.
I would definitely agree that there are some Facebook posts that don't translate as well to Instagram.
Consult a professional to find out which strategy is right for you.
yeah.
I mean, I know for me, over the last couple of years, I have started to migrate much more because I'm a photographer. I've migrated much more to Instagram.
Right.
So I'll post on Instagram and let it automatically go to my Facebook
Okay,
page.
so you brought it up. So what are you putting up on Instagram? Are you simply doubling up on Facebook and Instagram, or do you have things that you only put on Instagram?
Sometimes there are things that I'll put only on Instagram. Usually those are the more personal things. If I like,
On your business account?
yeah. I want people on my Instagram account to see that I have a family, that there's nothing super personal, but, I may post a picture of a birthday party that I'm at for my daughters, just because I want part of my business is not only business to business, but it's also doing birthday parties and doing
Other
weddings
events,
and
yeah.
events along that line. So I want them to see that social aspect of me.
Okay.
So do I think that fits well in my Facebook page? And not as much. My Facebook business page tends to be much more business oriented. So I
Yeah.
don't. I mean, are there times that I've forgotten to flip the little toggle switch and it's posted accidentally? Yeah, but
Yeah.
for the most part, I don't.
I do like on Instagram, on your Instagram account, I do like the drone videos.
Oh yeah,
Those are really cool. And I think it showcases your work really nicely.
Yeah. Now, one thing to keep in mind, whereas with Facebook, you can pretty much make a video as long as you want it to be. We don't suggest doing that, but you can make it. If you wanted to post a 10-minute video on Facebook, you could.
Sure, nobody's going to watch it.
Nobody
but
will
go
watch it,
ahead and
but
post
yeah,
yeah.
we've advised against that. But on Instagram, you are actually held to 1 minute. You cannot do a longer than a 1 minute video, and you get blocked out.
I'm going to mention, you were on tools before, but I'm going to mention 2 tools that they mentioned at the conference last week from Facebook. It's Boomerang, which I think you're pretty familiar with, and Hyperlapse. So Boomerang is when you see those cool posts of like the loop of the person repeating the action over and over. And, typical one is like the cheers motion or something like that where people are raising their
we
glasses.
actually used it for. I put it on my Instagram account. Was the a couple of weeks ago, or actually about a month ago now, when we did a podcast with Taylor Box. We used their little box that they sent us as a gift.
As a
And it just
boomerang.
kinda-
Yeah.
As a boomerang,
It's
it's a
almost
thank
like
you
a
on it.
GIF. Yeah, it's a boomerang, but it's almost like a
Like a
GIF.
GIF, yeah.
And it kind of speaks to
Or
your
GIF,
point.
what do they call it?
I don't know. But
Sorry.
it speaks to your point of those videos being short, and Instagram has that very short,
Yeah.
instant almost
Yeah, and what's it's
Yeah.
in the name. Who knew?
type of interaction format. And hyperlapse is one that actually speeds your video up.
Up, yes.
So a good example of that would be like those cooking videos that we see on Facebook and stuff where they're like chopping up a zucchini or something
Yeah,
and
you
then
do.
like mixing it in the bowl. You can speed your video up to equal 60 seconds or less. Well, you still have to probably work with it and massage the footage,
Yeah.
but you can
Yeah.
get it up so that it's faster.
So you do the video and then you apply that and it
Hyperlapse.
just speeds up the whole thing.
And I will say
Yes.
this about Instagram is they have pretty good editing tools within Instagram. So if you try to upload a 1.5-minute long video, it'll give you the opportunity to actually slice out a minute of that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
So, I mean, you can do it outside. I tend to do it outside just because I'm
because you're
like
so
that.
techie.
'Cause I
Now,
like to play
Alicia,
with that.
the hyperlapse and the boomerang,
Boomerang.
are those apps separate
Yes.
from Instagram?
Yes.
Yeah, they're on your phone.
So how do they integrate? Like if I do a video, do I want to go to Boomerang first
Yep.
and then bring that over into Instagram?
Correct.
How do I?
Well, you can do it both ways, actually.
Yeah, I think
You can actually record a video on Instagram,
okay.
or record a video on your phone. Go to upload it to Instagram, and it'll give you the option to hit Boomerang if you have Boomerang on your phone.
Oh,
and then you make the
okay.
boomerang. So you can do it either way.
So it is somewhat integrated.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Instagram and Facebook created Boomerang
Correct.
and Hyperlapse so that they all talk to each other.
Yeah.
So if you download the apps on your phone, you'll see that you should have the option one way or another.
Yeah. So you can go either way you want to go. So the answer
I'm
is
going to
yes.
do that now.
We'll add the links to the show
Yes.
notes.
The
We
answer.
will.
So the answer to your question is yes. Can I tell you the one thing that I'm hoping Instagram, and maybe if Instagram's listening, will allow? They have not allowed it yet. Is the 360 video photos?
I know.
You can do a 360 in Facebook, but you can't do a 360 in Instagram. Which Instagram is the perfect place for that.
I know.
I'm sorry.
It's so
Okay,
weird how
harumph.
there's certain things allowed on Facebook and not on Instagram.
I just did a 360 shoot for a contractor friend of mine, and he did this beautiful bathroom that I put it on Facebook, but I wanted to put it on Instagram
Yeah.
and could not do it. It would not.
Another thing about Instagram, like Facebook for businesses, you can schedule out your posts in advance on Facebook. Instagram, no. They
No.
want to be true to that instant
Yeah,
experience.
but you can. There are ways around it.
There are third-party apps
I
that allow
use
it.
Hootsuite from
Yeah,
is it
Buffer,
Hootsuite? Buffer, you can
any
Buffer.
third-party
Yeah.
app. But it is just interesting how Instagram and Facebook are both owned by the same company,
Yeah.
but there are different features available
Yeah.
for each one.
So yeah, it's just a matter of working around it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're running low on time here, so I don't want to get too far behind us. Now, how often should you post on Instagram?
So here's like a good example. I hate when I'm scrolling through Instagram and someone's like at an event and there's like 55
Five
pictures
pictures,
of them at the
exactly.
event. Choose the most meaningful, memorable one. Upload actually on Instagram you can do 8 pictures in one tab
Yes,
now. I believe
correct.
it's 8 or 10. 10?
I think it's 10.
10.
It's 10, yeah.
So choose the most
but I
meaningful
would
10.
even I would even argue don't even use 10.
I agree, Bill.
I got to be honest with you, I'm happy with seeing 1 or 2, and let's call it a day. I've seen where you're at.
I
interested-
like 3.
Yeah.
3 is my number.
Okay.
Yeah.
3's good.
How
That
many
works.
pictures do you like, Justin, in a scroll? If you're on Instagram.
So in other words, you know when you're on Instagram and they put multiple photos and you have
Justin's
to scroll
over here
left?
on Instagram right now.
Do you?
He's just trying out the boomerang app.
Are you doing boomerang at me? Yeah.
Well, personally, I like about 5.
Oh, okay. So you're in
I
the-
like an odd number, 1, 3, 5. But 5 seems like, I can get through it, tells enough of a story, and then I'm off.
Right.
It took me forever to figure out that Instagram even had that option because I'd be just like
Yeah.
scrolling through and like, oh look, what's
Now
that
you
little number
can
next
see
to
there's
it?
like
Yeah.
a little indication that there's more than one picture, but
Yeah.
so many times like I'll be on Instagram and somebody uploaded their entire picture album of like an event or their baby's photo session and it's like, come on, you're killing me here.
No,
You're killing
it's,
me.
a good rule of thumb for a business is you don't want to overwhelm your client, or your potential customer, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, once a day, twice a day, tops, there's really no need to be posting much more than that unless you've
Right.
got a bazillion things going on, then maybe. But like you said, you overwhelm, people get fatigued after a while. It's like, do I want to see one more post I don't know, what if you're selling shoes, a pair of shoes? Justin just
I just
did
made a boomerang.
Justin made his first boomerang, everybody.
Not to be
Round
confused
of
with
applause
making
for
a-
Justin on boomerang. So we'll upload that to the podcast notes. Good job, Justin. Save that.
Thank you. It's gonna go on my Instagram story
Nice.
for today. So.
But
Hashtag podcast.
I think
Well,
what
it's
you're
like-
getting at with like the overwhelming aspect is like
Yeah.
keep keep in mind the word instant when you're using
Yeah.
Instagram. You want to create instant experiences in
And
a
done.
moment, and that's it. And then don't overwhelm them with like
Exactly. Like I said, you don't need to see 22 shots of one thing.
Yes.
I see enough 1 or 2, 3, 5, 5 tops. But anyway.
agree.
Okay, so the next thing is interact with your followers.
So you mean I can't just post and then turn the app off?
It's much like Facebook. You can't set it and forget it. It doesn't
Gotcha.
work that way. If you want to have an active following, you need to be active with your followers. Pure and simple. There's just no other way around it, which means it takes work.
Yeah.
I read from a recent, and I don't remember where I read it, but I just recently read that a good rule of thumb is to try to like at least 10 posts a day from somebody else
Right.
and to comment on another 10.
Whoa.
So you should be doing 20 posts a day of other people and either liking or commenting on them
Right.
because that keeps you active. And then something about the Instagram algorithms know that you're active, so now they are more easily bringing people back to you.
Yes.
So, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Have you heard anything similar to that? Or
No,
is that
no, I'm just thinking about how I use it as a consumer. We're marketers, but we're also consumers and how we use the channels that we, market on. So when I'm seeing people comment on stuff, I see their profile. I'm like, oh, let me click on their profile. And then
Yep.
I look and I'm like, yeah, this person's pretty cool. I'm going to follow them.
Yep,
So the
exactly.
fact that they're coming over to my stuff and liking it and commenting, that adds to that community.
I'll also make
conversation.
one more part to that. If somebody comments on a post that you've done on Instagram, respond.
Yes.
Respond, because now they know you're listening.
Yeah, especially if you're a brand or a company.
Yeah,
And-
much more so for your company, but yeah.
Wow, we've done so with the Spark. We like snacks, and we're always like bringing fun food into the office. And we live in Providence, which is a great food city. So we'll tag local brands or even national brands. We tagged like a national brand and they literally within seconds commented like, thanks, hope you enjoy the product. This actually wasn't food. This was a sound machine, like a white noise sound machine for our office.
I'll give you another example. I was at a convention back in January, and one of the speakers gave away a free book. So I started reading the book, and I thought it was a pretty good book. So I took a photo of the front cover of the book, hashtagged this person that wrote the book, whose name was Jeffrey Shaw. He responded back within 2 minutes. Thanks for mentioning my book.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's huge.
And so that makes you feel valued as a customer.
Exactly.
Like, oh, this person's like looking at my stuff on Instagram because I posted about them.
Exactly.
This is what we call engagement.
Engagement. Thank
And
you.
that's kind of the point of social media, is to engage with your followers and your audience.
Right, you're not just there to throw information in their face. You're there to engage.
Engage.
Exactly. Okay, next. Create an interactive hashtag. Alicia,
What?
huh?
What is that?
An interactive hashtag. Okay, well, we talked back in our marketing fails thing about hashtags, how they can go wrong. They can
Yeah.
also help you out. You can actually, I don't want to say hijack, but you can hop onto a hashtag that is relevant to what your business is about. And now you've gotten
Okay, so
yourself. Okay.
just in case we have any complete newbies listening to the podcast, hashtag is the word or phrase with the pound sign in front of it, and that's
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We used to call it the pound sign. Everybody else calls it a hashtag now.
Yeah.
So it's, us old guys, us old, back in my day. No.
yeah.
Rotary phone.
If you
phones.
remember a rotary phone,
Phones,
yeah.
you know,
I
it's a
do.
pound.
I do.
But yes, so hashtags can be used very bad or very good. But the best way is to also to create a hashtag that your customers can use if you're a business. So it may be, I'm trying to think of one that was, you could maybe if you were Nike, you would say hashtag just do it,
Right.
and have your followers post pictures of themselves using your product and hashtag just do it.
And that helps the exposure for
Yeah.
that particular post.
Yes.
They're
right.
often called branded hashtags.
Mhm.
Sometimes if you have one with your company's name, like if you
Yeah.
just wanted to be like hashtag, you know, I can't, like a restaurant.
Well, I mean, for us, from time to time, I'll put like, I think I did it today when I posted a picture of the soundboard. I put hashtag marketing essentials.
Yeah.
Right.
That-
Or you could have them specific to campaigns.
Mhm.
So like the Just Do It could be a
A
campaign,
Yeah.
or something.
So all those things work to get more involvement, and
More
again,
engagement,
obviously, the more
yeah.
engagement, the more people are going to look at you, the more likely to actually purchase something from you in the future because they're seeing you actively.
Well, it's that staying top of mind.
Yes, exactly.
Plus, I'd hop on other hashtags that are just relevant to your
Yeah,
industry
which is
too,
what-
like
which is what I'm
marketing, hashtag podcast,
Yes.
hashtag marketing advice, whatever.
Even you could even go so far as to regional, hashtag Rhode
Providence,
Island,
yep.
hashtag Providence, or wherever, because if you're aiming after somebody local, they may be looking under the hashtag Providence.
So Instagram has started suggesting hashtags for me.
Yes.
Like best of Rhode Island, because I feel like a lot of our clients and we tag food brands and stuff, and so Instagram's algorithm is kind of picking up that us as consumers are interested in the best businesses in Rhode Island. So it's starting to populate my feed with people that I might not necessarily follow, but because they're using these hashtags and they've accumulated likes for these hashtags, it's suggesting these people to me.
Yep, and I would even go further and say, outside of hashtags, put a location. You have the ability when you
Yes, you can check in.
You can check in where you're at. So check in,
Yes.
because now that's one more touch point. I'm sorry, Justin, you look like you were going to say something a minute ago. You
Well, I
started to
just
say
wanted to find out. So, obviously, you're on Instagram. You have a business profile.
Yes.
You follow people on Instagram, and I'm assuming a lot of those are photographers, people that work in your space.
somewhat, yeah. I'd say about 80%, yeah.
Okay. So, what are some of the things that you've noticed that the people you're following are doing? Other photographers, other videographers, even other drone photographers. What are they doing that's catching your attention?
Well, obviously, I'm catering. They're catering right to somebody like me because that's what I like to look at. So for me, I'll be following hashtags like DJI because DJI is one of the #1 manufacturers of drones.
Okay.
So anytime somebody posts a quick drone video of something, it pops up because I'm following. You can actually follow a hashtag on Instagram. too.
Right.
So I'll follow that.
But obviously, you're following the people that you already have an affinity for or products
Yeah,
that you like.
exactly.
But what are they doing that's getting your attention?
For me, it's mostly video. And I've actually seen a lot more video on Instagram lately as in the past. I mean, photos still work, don't get me wrong. But it seems video tends to catch, I'd say, and I'm not sure if I don't have any cast iron statistics on this, but I would say from what I've seen on my own feed, I'd say it's about a 50-50 mix now between video and photography.
So I do have to point out that your feed is everyone's feed is unique. So
Sure,
your feed
yeah.
being, very associated with photographers and videographers, you may have a higher.
Exactly, yeah.
So I follow a lot of food brands, and it's less video for me.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
so I guess it's
I
just a
think-
matter of.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, the things that stick out to me are good photography, good videos, something that's good quality. Now I know that some people that are okay with it being a lesser quality. That's like,
No, I can't. I don't think you can sacrifice lighting on Instagram and good quality
well,
pictures.
yeah, I mean, there are still people that are making it with just doing a quick, cell phone video. That's okay.
Maybe
would I
it's,
suggest
maybe
it?
it's
No,
more
but-
forgiving if it's a selfie or a group selfie
Yeah.
versus you're showing a product or you're showing something that would benefit from good lighting. You think maybe it's more forgiving if it's people?
I'm not sure. I think as a business, you really should have a style guide in place.
I agree.
And I feel like stories are a great place for quick things that maybe you don't have time to
Yeah, okay.
edit or do professionally.
Okay, yeah, I would say that. Yeah, so your story end of the Instagram, for those of you who don't know, who don't deal with Instagram or even Facebook for that matter, Instagram has something very similar, or it's actually the exact same thing as on Facebook, is you can also post to stories which go away after 24 hours?
Correct.
Yeah.
Unless
So-
you highlight them.
Unless you highlight them. But yeah, they go away after 24 hours, so that may be a place where you do a quick video where you're not worried about it being edited.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
But
So
I had asked you and Nicole recently, though, what was the advantage of stories over simply posting to Instagram? And you said, well, while they're only there temporarily, they tend to get more exposure in other people's feeds than your
Sure.
just straight
on
up posts.
On Facebook, definitely.
Yeah.
I think Instagram, but I can't say for sure.
Okay.
The other thing to keep in mind about stories, say for instance you're a service-based or any type of business, and you have something special that's coming up that's a one-day thing.
Yes.
That's tailor-made for stories.
Right.
Because you don't want that on your feed constantly because people don't always look at dates and they may go, hey,
Right.
you offered it now, why don't I get it?
Very, very true.
Okay.
So
I
the-
look at the
yeah.
main part of the Instagram profile though. I like when businesses, maybe it's just a personal preference, but I like when they're branded and they are consistent in like a color scheme or a type of overall topic
Sure,
theme.
yeah, definitely keep
It's
it
just
keep
not
with the
like
branding.
yeah, and I feel like the stories are more forgiving to that
Sure.
type of.
And then, Justin, you can speak to that, is how important is it to have consistent branding from your website to Facebook to Instagram to LinkedIn? You don't want to be bouncing all over the place. You really need to be thinking about.
Well, if you're just talking about personal feeds, I don't think it matters at all.
No, I'm talking business.
But for business, yeah, it's important to have that consistency in your brand. And the brand is, I don't mean just your logo, but I'm talking about your voice, the personality that you present or your business presents. So it should be consistent across, from your website to your social media to any marketing channel that you use. And the reason that consistency is important is because each one of those marketing channels represents a touch that you have with your audience, and that touch needs to be consistent. If you're going to stay top of mind, they need to know that they're seeing something that's consistent from one channel to the next, so they know it's you. Have a content strategy. It's difficult to get up every day and try to come up with something to post, but if you have a week's worth of content sort of planned out to say, this is what I want to focus on this week. Now you can spend a little bit of time at the beginning of the week, schedule out what you want to, put out on Instagram, and then something happens spontaneously, great, you fill that in,
Correct.
right? But you've got a baseline now that you can go from.
Which is a great thing. You see a lot of people that'll do like Throwback Thursday, or they'll pick a day of the week and have something specific to that. So that way that helps them kind of tailor what they're doing for the upcoming week.
Tip of the week.
Tip of the week, whatever. And you can break it out in the Instagram. You want to do at least Monday through Friday, I would say.
Right.
I would even argue if you're like a wedding photographer, you would do it more often. You probably do the weekends too because you're out shooting weddings and whatnot. But
Yeah, I mean, there's behind the scenes.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
all sorts of topics and
Yeah.
themes that you
so
can
yeah,
work
so
with.
so really get creative. That's my final point: is get creative in how you connect with the audience. It may be something like a throwback kind of thing. In your case, Justin, it may be talking about some old style font that was used that hasn't been used anymore, or what
Font of the week.
font of the week.
Or I could highlight website of the week. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do that relate to what you do. It shows that you're engaged. It shows that you're kind of staying up to date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you recommend, Bill, with those of us who are visually and photographically challenged, of working with a photographer to get like a database of like some good footage and
Wow,
photos.
that was a softball. Thank you. The answer would be yes. No.
Yeah, so like you can dip into it as a library, right?
No, I mean, when you're first starting off, that's tough to do because obviously I understand as a small business, your monetary funds are very limited.
Oh, hey, but let's like rewind to the very first stat there. 60% of businesses get found on Instagram. What was the stat? Or 60% of consumers find businesses on Instagram?
Well, it was 60% of adults online,
Online
use
use
Instagram.
No.
50%
no,
of
no, no,
Instagram users follow at least one business. That's what you're talking about.
Oh, that one. Okay.
60% say they've learned of a
The
product or
product-
service
yeah, so yeah,
through
yeah.
the platform. So yes, it is
Oh,
an investment
yes.
to hire someone like Bill to do your photography. However, it seems like there could be a really good return on our eye.
Well, yeah, I
investment
mean,
there.
you're right. I think the biggest struggle is convincing business owners that that's an important part of it. Because Instagram is so easy. You pick up your phone, you do whatever you want.
Right.
And a lot of businesses think, well, I can do that myself. Yeah,
Well, I think in the visuals, we should show them a good Instagram versus a bad Instagram because I think the visual there will show.
Oh, sure,
Yeah,
sure.
will
But
speak
yes,
for itself.
so to back up to your question, if possible, absolutely work with a photographer, especially if you're a restaurant or sell a product of some sort. Have them professionally photograph that product.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to look so much better when you throw it up on there. And they can also work with you and maybe with somebody that's on the branding end to help you make sure you get the right colors in the photo, make sure you get the branding elements in the photo that need to be in there. Same thing with video. You can do a quick video, but does it follow up with your colors of your brand? Does it stay in line with your branding? Let's say, for instance, I'm trying to think of something quick here, and I don't want to. Say you are a company that's known for very bright lit videos, right? Or bright lit photos.
Oversaturated colors,
Oversaturated
maybe.
colors. If you took a video that was in a dark room,
That would be off-brand.
yeah,
It's going to stick out like a
Yeah.
sore thumb in your feed,
and it's not going to fit with your brand,
your grid.
and vice versa. If
Right.
you
Or let's say you're a wedding photographer, and you're known for your black and white photography.
yeah, you're not going to post a color photo.
No, it would be off-brand.
Yeah. I happen to know an excellent black and white photographer. In his Instagram account, you would not find a color photo anywhere there.
Right. So stay on brand.
Stay on brand. If you know what you're doing, stay on brand. And if you don't, get with somebody like Justin who can help you get on brand.
We will post some links of visuals because I think that really hits home the point when you can see a branded Instagram versus like a, hey, here's some pictures Instagram.
So I know we've gone way over on this, and I apologize because it wasn't planned on going that far. But
I'm not worried. You're the one's got to edit this.
and I know no one's going to edit it out. But but in summary, I would say treat your Instagram if you're a business, treat your Instagram the same way you treat your Facebook, which should be it's a part of your branding, it's a part of your business, and it's going to bring you more followers, more people purchasing if you do it right.
Correct.
If you do it improperly, it's going to push people away. So you got to really make sure you're on your A game before you start that. Having said that, you can reach out to any of us if you want any information on how to better do that.
Right. So if people want to learn more about how to leverage Instagram for their business, or they want to connect with you about photography, how do they find you?
Okay, well, thank you for asking. Wow, I get a plug today. I like this. No, probably the easiest way to contact me would be bill@wpp.photos. That's a pretty easy email address
Yeah.
to get a hold of me at. Or you can just type in wpp.photos in your browser, and it'll bring you right to my
And
website.
where do they find you on Instagram?
And Instagram is WPP_photos. Oh, photo. Sorry, excuse me. I think about that.
All right. And we'll put all that in the show notes.
Yeah, we'll put it in the show notes. I might even have that wrong because it might be photography. I never look at my Instagram handle that often. But anything else we have?
No, I think that was a good primer on Instagram and how to leverage it for business, some of the tools that you can use, some of the best practices that you
Yes.
can do in regards to having people engage with your feed and you engage with them. So thanks for walking us through that. And we're going to wrap this one up.
Yeah, the only other thing I would add one more thing.
Yep.
For those who listen to our podcast that are also part of the Little Roadie Marketing Group, there are plans in the future, sometime probably a little bit later this year. I don't know exactly when. Haven't quite come up with the full details on it yet, but we will be doing an Instagram challenge very similar to the way we did our Facebook Live challenge.
Oh, really?
So those of you who are a little bit uncomfortable about doing Instagram right now, stay tuned.
Okay. Well, we'll look forward to that. And until next time,
We'll see you then. See you next
Bye.
time, right? Bye.
yeah.
Thank you for joining us today. And as always, you can find the back episodes of our podcast on Apple Podcasts. And you can also find us on our YouTube channel. Both of them are the Marketing Essentials team.
You can find us on the web at marketingessentialsteam.com. And if you subscribe through our website, you'll receive a weekly email and letting you know when each episode has been published. Also, you'll receive a link to subscriber-only content.
You can also find us on Facebook in our private Facebook group. Just search Little Roadie Marketing Support Group. It's a great place for other marketing professionals and business owners where we can share marketing advice, challenges, and general trends. Hope to see you there.